Hello everybody and welcome. My name's Scott, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Snowbee Flymate standard pedestal vice. I've recently had to replace my vice, and also there's not many people actually reviewed this vice out there, so we'll give it a go. First of all, I wanted to wish everybody who is subscribed and whoever's watching a very Merry Christmas. Christmas Eve 2024 as I film, and this is basically my main present to myself that we're using right now. So the features of the vice. So I thought I'd tie a fly while using the vice, while I sort of do a rundown of its features. First of all, the business end, the jaws. The jaws are guaranteed for 5 years, and they're superb. They meet perfectly, they're very easy to use, and they grip very well indeed. In order to fit a fly excuse me, in order to fit a hook into the vice, first of all you adjust the knob closest to the jaws, to the tip of the jaws, so that it's just gripping the hook, and then the larger knob further down the jaws you tighten up, and it just grips it. You don't even need to tighten it up all that much. I suppose you could over tighten it in theory, but you just tighten it enough to the point where the hook doesn't move. Now the pattern that we're tying while we review the vice is basically a variant of the okie dokie that I'm tying for carp fishing. I've already squeezed the barb off. You've already seen me tie this pattern before, so check out the okie dokie video. This one's on a size 12, so it's a fairly average hook size for use of the fly tying vice, so I thought we'd go with that. The frame of the vice. Now then, the frame, it actually says in the advert for the vice that the frame is made from an aircraft alloy. There is no alloy on this vice, it is all steel. Which is absolutely brilliant. The only moan I've got is the rotary, the actual rotary barrel. The finish isn't great, but I'm not really all that bothered about that. The vice is so functional that I'm not really worried too much about that. Now the jaws attached to the frame using 2 thumb nuts, and you can adjust the jaws up and down so that when you turn the rotor, the hook doesn't actually move up and down, it rotates in the plane of the hook shank. I haven't got it adjusted to be able to do that just yet, but it's just functional as a vice at the moment. I'm not all that bothered about that function anyway. I like to wind all my ribs and hackles by hand anyway. The actual rotary mechanism itself is very smooth and solid, and it can be improved further, but straight out of the box it is absolutely great. I've actually tightened it up just a little bit, because when you turn it on its side there, it does tend to sink under the weight of the jaws, so I've tightened it to the point where it doesn't do that anymore. And it's just great. I'm really happy with it. On the top of the barrel where the rotary mechanism is, it comes with a spring that you can put on there, and that acts as a material clip. I'm actually using that at the moment in the main part of the main camera angle where I'm tying the fly. It's holding my tinsel. The shaft is just long enough for it to be comfortable, and it is adjustable up and down in the pedestal, and it is solid. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no that rattling is basically my desk. It's really good. The pedestal's just heavy enough. It's not too big, it's not too light. It's not too small either. It's just perfect in every way possible. It is a piece of sheet steel that's been cerakoted by the looks of it, and it's got 4 rubber feet on the bottom as well. And overall, it's pretty solid. I'm sure the clamp version will be very good as well. I think there's not many people actually reviewed this vice out there. I think there's only one video from what I can gather from the searches that I've done so far, and it's a shame really. I think it's been overlooked. The actual clamp version it only comes in at £55, I believe. The pedestal one is considerably more expensive. But yeah, I can't recommend it enough really. It's definitely a 5 stars for me. Maybe 4.5 if you take into account the finish on the barrel. So yeah, we will continue tying this fly, and I think I'll cut to a scene where I actually test how well it grips the hook, and I've got a bibio in the hook here, and I'm giving it quite a bit of grip, and I just cannot get it to move, and it requires minimum effort to actually get the hook to hold that well. So yeah. Device is available in quite a few different places, and I've actually purchased this from Angling Active. Now my favourite place to buy stuff is Glasgow Angling Centre, and I would have bought it from Glasgow Angling Centre if they'd got it in stock. I was trying to get this in before Christmas, and they were offering the fact that it was actually in stock to start with, and it was they was also offering an express delivery service, and it actually came, but they actually attempted to deliver it a whole 2 days earlier than I was expecting as well. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock really when I got the text message. Now the old vice, you will have seen it in my previous 25 videos. There was quite a few things that went wrong with that one. Within probably the first 4 flies, the jaws started opening out at the tip. I don't know whether it's because I'd over tightened it or what, but I don't think if it was a decent steel it wouldn't have done that. So I was sort of forced to, for it to be able to grip a hook properly again, I had to actually file the tips off square, and you'll see that in previous videos where I've filed the tip off, just so that I can get it to grip a hook again, and it was a great shame really. I'll go into how much I paid for it shortly. The vice was called the Stillwater Harris Pedestal vice. The main frame of it was aluminium, and it was functional, but I had to do a few things to get it to work for me. So the shaft was too short on it. I had to basically change a part to attach it to the pedestal using my old pedestal part from an old pedestal that I had for my Crown Dennet vice. That was the only way I could get it to stop wobbling around. The main thing I noticed that went wrong with it quite quickly was the connection of the jaws to the frame, and it used an M4 nut, an M4 bolt, a machine bolt that you have to tighten right the way up to get it to stop moving. When you actually tighten down onto a hook, it used a lever action to tighten down onto the hook, and whenever you pulled the lever action, this the jaws would slip in the frame. It was terrible. So I had to take the jaws off a few times to repaint them, mainly to make them look nice for the camera. And unfortunately, on the latest coat of paint, when I put the jaws back on, I tightened down and it stripped the threads out on the aluminium frame, and there was just no thread for me to attach the jaws to the vice with, the jaws to the frame. The rotary action, now then, the rotary action was very, very smooth, but it was very, very wobbly as well, unfortunately. If you tightened it right down, it would still move, which wasn't a problem because I've got this set to a certain tension that I like, and it is still able to move, but it doesn't move while you're tying. That one did. If you had it loose, it would actually wobble around while you're trying to tie, which was really annoying. The actual frame itself just looked a bit, it was like a brushed aluminium, and it just looked cheap. Basically that particular vice came from China. There's quite a lot of Chinese websites like Banggood or Temu and all that selling the same vice under a different name. I don't know whether Stillwater got hold of some and put their own name on it, and decided to charge 50 quid more. But it's not worth £100, and I wouldn't recommend it to my worst enemy. And I hope you guys never end up with the displeasure of having one. So this fly is almost done. So he's probably waiting for the star review. I'm going to give my new vice 4.5 stars because it's solid, dependable. I can't see anything going wrong with it at all. It has a good guarantee on the business end, the jaws, and it's £20 cheaper than another rotary vice. I mean, in order to get into the rotary vice market, you've got to be looking at £100 normally, and this is entry level price, and it's better than an entry level vice. It's just brilliant. The instruction manual that comes with it is fairly clear. It's IKEA-ish, as in, so long as you read the small print and really study it properly, you will get to know how it works. And I'm sure playing with it or fiddling around with it after a little while, you will be able to get it to rotate without the fly moving up and down in the air. I mean, I'm fairly close there with it, but yeah, I'm really quite happy with it. So let's set the resin on this fly, and I'll sign off on the review. Thank you very much for watching. I hope the review is informative. I know it's the only one out there, apart from another one. And I thank you all for watching, and a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye bye for now.